Welcome everybody, welcome to the first episode of the Formula Factory. Before you start asking questions like what is the Formula Factory, why am I even watching this video, I promise you if you take the time you're going to learn a lot. We're going to spread a lot of value about what we do and why we do it. But before we get into that, we want to introduce ourselves. My name is Travis Wallace. I'm the co-founder of the Formula Factory.
My name is Sofia Perez and I'm also a co-founder.
Like I said, what we want to do is we want to start spreading value in terms of fitness. So we're in the fitness realm, with the nutrition realm, and we want to be able to give you guys some insights of how we've helped people change their life all around the world. But before we get into that, we want to give you a little bit of our background, just so you have an idea of how we got here, what we do, and why we enjoy what we actually do.
So I'm from Costa Rica. For 18 years of my life, I played tennis. I went to Florida Gulf Coast University where I played Division I tennis. After graduating, I kind of lost my identity. And throughout this whole process, I was able to transform my body and my mindset. So it's something I want to continue and help other women around the world continue to do.
So my name is Travis Wallace. Like I said earlier, I am from Atlanta, Georgia. We live in beautiful Miami, as you probably can tell from the background. But I played a Division I basketball at the University of North Florida. And after that, I went on to play professionally in Finland and Slovakia. I wasn't making life-changing money, but my dream was to be a professional basketball player, so I did live that dream. But once I came back to the States, I ended up going to grad school at Virginia Commonwealth University. I started working with athletes. And I always knew I wanted to work with the top athletes in the world, and I was pertaining to NBA players. And I was fortunate and blessed enough to be able to do that. So for the last 8 years of my life, I've been working with training the best athletes in the world. And I got to a point, I was like, hey man, I felt like I maxed out. I felt like I reached the pinnacle. And I'm like, hey, I want to create something that will allow me to impact everybody around the world, not just people who are making 30, 40, 50 million dollars. I really want to impact people by helping them see themselves different, changing the way they feel, changing the way they look, and changing the way they think. And that's how we created a Formula Factory. So what is the Formula Factory? The Formula Factory is a program that we have. It's 100 days. But we also do have people who have stuck with us for over 100 days. We really appreciate them. But what we do is we completely transform people in 100 days. And as I show you some physical changes, and you'll see some transformation on the screen as I'm talking. But as you look at this, I want you to understand that you see a physical approach, but there was a mental, there was an emotional approach as well that allowed people to make this change. And we understand that there are so much information going around nowadays, and it's like, do I do this? Do I do that? It's just flooded with information. And all we want to do is bring awareness to what the Formula Factory is, because we've had proven results. And the reason we do what we do is because we felt a certain way about people not getting the results that they really wanted and continuously paying money. So that was one of our main reasons for kicking this off. And she'll speak on, especially from a woman's perspective, of what this means to help a woman transform herself in 100 days.
Yeah, so as I said, I kind of lost my identity. My whole identity was wrapped around being a tennis player. And a lot of times us women tend to wrap our identity based on a situation, a moment, or a relationship we're in. And that's something I kind of want to break, because I was able to break away from that and kind of create my own identity. So that's why I'm so passionate about the Formula Factory.
So wonderful, obviously, explanation for the woman. For me, I think the biggest thing was I wanted men to look in the mirror and see somebody that didn't reflect their past. So whatever that may be, and a lot of times we want to continue to evolve. And I always told myself the best way I think that you can physically see yourself would be physically seeing yourself change. So the more you see yourself change, your body's changing and all those things are happening to you, but something's going on in your head mentally. Something's going on in your heart emotionally, and that's what we wanted to do. So the biggest problem that we wanted to solve and start giving value is, how do you help people make this transformation in 100 days? And everything we do is online. And we're going to talk about our 4 pillars today, which is help people, and you'll see transformations on the screen of people who have been in our 100-day program, and then we're going to break down exactly what they do, how they did it, and why it has been so important. So our first pillar is fitness. And when I say fitness, what we wanted more importantly is for people to have structure. And not just, in terms of going to the gym, but going to the gym and knowing exactly what they're doing. And we provided each client with a personalized program that is catered to them. So like I said, it's not a generic, it's not a cookie cutter program like you'll see online. We wanted people to understand hey, we will give you exactly what you need so you can succeed. And as soon as somebody literally signs up and they realize they have these conversations about, hey, look, this is for me, that's an instant win already. And that's what we wanted for people. So we create plans for people all around the world. Like I said, obviously it's online, and we wanted to give them structure and not be one of those, not be in those feelings where you feel like, hey, I'm just going to the gym, I'm going through the motion, because that obviously bleeds into your life. So she'll speak on how fitness has, helped the women in our program who may have not been really into fitness, or who may have been into fitness but haven't really been seeing any results.
Yeah, so a lot of the women that come to the program that I've had the pleasure of training had either issues where they've tried it all. They've tried the HIIT classes, they've tried the F45s, the berries, the Pilates, everything, and nothing seemed to stick. And they also tried the personal trainers, and the problem was that everything was generic, as Trav mentioned before. It was nothing that it was tailored or personalized specifically to them, to the equipment they had, to the time they had. And that's something we specialize in. We have to understand that not everybody has the ability to be in the gym for over an hour. You just need 45 minutes with intention, and that's more than enough. And that's what I've been able to provide to the women in the program, and that's why they've been so successful.
I think one big thing is like when you speak on time, and one thing about time is like when you have structure, when you know what you're doing, when you're not going through the emotion, that allows you to obviously see progress. And like we have CEOs in our program, we've had teachers in our program, and everybody, we've had people with people with kids, we've had all types of these. So it just can't be, hey, do this for 45 minutes, do this for an hour, do this for 90 minutes, and your life will change. And the reason we're also making this channel is because a lot of people see stuff on Instagram like, hey, I'm gonna do what this person's doing. And that person maybe have more time than you, may have more resources than you. So how can you still get these results in a manner of time for you to feel like, hey, I'm being extremely successful? So like I said, the first thing we do is we're able to give everybody a personalized fitness plan in order for them to see success in their journey. Our second pillar is nutrition. And I think nutrition obviously is extremely important. That's why it's one of our pillars. But I think a lot of people don't understand nutrition. There are so many diets going around that everybody's just choosing, hey, I'm gonna try this or I'm gonna try this, and none of it is truly sustainable. So what happens is you may see a result, but then in 2-3 months, all of a sudden you're back to square one because you did something you couldn't sustain. So what we do is we actually provide our clients customized and personalized macro nutrition programs for them to be able to succeed. So what works for her is not going to work for me. What works for me is not going to work for her. And that goes for every one of our clients. So I think people having an understanding on what macros are and how important it is, not just for your body, but for you to truly understand mentally what you're putting in your body, which is going to allow yourself to be successful in terms of fuel and energy throughout life, and which obviously helps you dramatically change your body. So the question I wanted to ask Sophia, especially when it comes to women, like how important has understanding nutrition been for the women in our program?
Well, I think it's been extremely important. I can speak for myself. I used to train twice a day, and every day I would wake up, run to the mirror and see okay, change has come, and nothing would change. And I thought I had to do all these crazy workouts and it would compensate for the food I was eating. Food consumed 80% of my thoughts. And it wasn't until I learned exactly what my body needed that I started to see change. In not a month or two, in as little as 3 weeks, my body started changing, what it never has, even when I was an athlete. So nutrition is kind of like a key component. It's not about restricting yourself or diets or anything. It's knowing exactly what your body needs in order to survive, basically.
So I'm gonna throw Sophia's transformation up here right now, as you can see, and I think this is really important because you've been an athlete your whole life, just like I have been an athlete my whole life. So you've done all the training, you've done all that stuff. But when we finish the 4 pillars, you're gonna see why she was able to make that transformation. I also throw my transformation on here. Well, I've done what we built, we've also done. And once we seen what it did to ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, we was like, hey, look, we need to share this with the world and be able to help people build themselves up. So that's how we built, that's how it started, and that's why we wanted to, share this with the world, because one big thing she said is when people don't understand nutrition, they go around in circles. And it's like you're waking up every morning just saying hey, why isn't there change? I've been doing this for 3, 4, 5 weeks and nothing has changed. And one thing that stuck with me when I was at a commercial gym, maybe a couple of months ago, I overheard a lady talking to her trainer, and she goes, hey, look, I've been doing this for 3 months. Like, why hasn't anything changed? And what he told her was like, hey, look, I just need you to keep coming back. And it was like, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way because it's like, maybe she's not doing something on the nutrition side or maybe on the fitness side. I don't know, but after a while, you should start seeing results. It shouldn't take you 3 months to see a result. And a lot of people are spending their hard-earned money and not really seeing the results. So we really want to put into that. So like I said, our biggest problem was like seeing people spend their money, not getting a result, and and seeing people not become that person they truly want to be. And that's what we've created this. So for the past year, we've allowed people to see that person in the mirror that they've always envisioned. So we just spoke on the first 2 pillars, fitness, nutrition. And now we're going to speak on our third pillar, which a lot of people don't want, and that's accountability. And when you see these results, as I'm still continuing to throw results up there for you guys, people who've done this in 100 days, accountability is huge. I think not only in fitness, but in business or in just personal life, like it's always great to have a circle around, be around people, like-minded people who are going to hold you accountable and get you to succeed. So we're both former athletes, so we understand how important it is to have a coach. We also understand how important it is how results actually mean something, because as former athletes, you understand you can practice all you want, but if you're not producing when the lights are on, nobody cares. And that's what we wanted people. We wanted people, hey, look, we want you to feel like you're producing. So when we give all of our clients check-ins, constant communication, we have Zooms, we have phone calls, constant text messages, but it's just allowing them to realize like I'm being held accountable for my actions, and that literally leads them right to the success that they've had. So you can speak on, what accountability have done for the women in the program as well.
Yeah, so imagine you're in a group chat full of women and everyone's sending their pictures, hey, I'm at the gym, and you're the one person that hasn't gone to the gym. That plays kind of in your head, and you're starting to see like, damn, I should have been in the gym. So I feel like a big part with accountability, us women, is we're scared. We are scared to step in the scale. We're scared of like taking those pictures and not see any progress. But if you don't do that, you don't know if you're regressing or if you're progressing, and you're just staying flat out stagnant. So the importance of like having someone to hold you accountable is to challenge yourself, and every time there's always something to improve. There's always room for improvement and challenging yourself constantly. So I think for women, that's the biggest thing. Fear holds us back a lot.
And when you speak on accountability, one thing about accountability I've always heard, like in business or just, in terms of, people just being, completely honest. I don't know if Alex Hormozy said this, but it was kind of like people who don't want to look at the numbers, whether it be a check-in picture or whatever it is, you avoid those because you're not truly doing what you're supposed to be doing. So if you never want to look at your business numbers, if you never want to look at your bank account statements, it's because you're doing things that don't align with what you're trying to do. And that's what we want to do. We literally created people a blueprint to follow. And if they just follow the blueprint or walk the red carpet, however you want to say it, they know they'll get to their destination because it's been proven by other clients before them. So what happens is when you have check-ins, when you have constant communication with your coach, if I'm not doing something that, you're supposed to be doing, all of a sudden it's like that accountability starts to drop off. And we want to keep it extremely high because at the end of the day, we run a business where if our clients don't succeed, we don't succeed. So we're going to do whatever we possibly can do so you can get that result in terms of not just physically, but emotionally and mentally to become that better version of yourself. And the last thing I want to say on accountability is the people who do the best are the people who let us hold them accountable. The people who get all their check-ins, do all their check-ins, who do all their weigh-ins, who are in constant communication with us, usually do the best. And that's because they're allowed themselves to be held accountable.
And one thing I want to add with that, Travis has worked with the best players in the world. They're the peak. There's nothing above them. And they're constantly getting challenged by their coaches. I mean, you can speak a little bit about that, on how the guy you train is constantly being challenged by you and his coaches around him.
Exactly. So like I said, I've been training NBA players for pretty much a decade now. And it's funny how people want a result, but they don't want to get a coach. They want to use ChatGPT. They want to use Google. But at the end of the day, you need somebody to hold you accountable and make sure you do what you want to do so you can reach your goal. So, like I said, I've been training NBA players and I've traveled with them for the last 10 years. And the reason I'm traveling with them, not because it's like, hey, I want my friend around. They want somebody there when they're on vacation, wherever they are. And I have to make sure I do my work. I have to do what I know I need to do to continue to live this life that I'm living, whatever it may be. I'm pretty sure Beyonce has a vocal coach. So it's like, not that her vocal coach can sing better than her, but she has a vocal coach to help her improve and to give, to have somebody to help her stay accountable in terms of what she's doing. So we're big on the coaching advocate because the best athletes and the best entertainers in the world all have coaches. So we just decided to build this platform for people to give them the opportunity to have a coach, to have somebody hold them accountable. And that's another reason we've been extremely successful with helping people change their lives in 100 days. Now, let's get into our fourth pillar, which is mindset. And I think this is obviously all four pillars are extremely important. That's why the framework is built like that. But when it comes to mindset, all I can say is, going back to accountability a little bit, but the people who do the best in our program aren't the people who just want to lose weight, aren't the people who just want to look better. People who do the best in our program are the people who say, look, I want to see my best version in 100 days. I want to see how far I can take myself in 100 days. Because a lot of times the people who just want to lose weight and it's not a deeper feeling for it, what happens is they go through all the motions. It's like, hey, well, if I don't lose the weight, then what? My life's going to stay the same. My life's not that bad. But the problem is they've never seen the other side. They never know how it felt to look in the mirror and feel extremely satisfied with, hey, I'm putting in this work. I'm seeing this progress. I understand nutrition now. Like, I love the way my body feels. And I think it's one of the biggest compliments that we get. It's like, in the first 3 weeks, like, oh my God, I feel amazing. I have so much more energy. Like, I don't want the things I used to want because I understand what nutrition is. So I think mindset is such a big key component of this because it's not so much all about physique and the way you want to look. It's big on like, hey, how do you want your best version to look like? How do you want your best version to feel like? And how do you want your best version to think like? So I think that's why mindset's important. And you can obviously, piggyback on how important you think mindset is as well.
Yeah, I mean, the women that have made the biggest changes in our program has been because it's been deeper than just a physical transformation. And the funny thing is, when they start the program in 3 weeks, the first thing they tell me is not, oh my God, I love how my body is looking. Even though their body is changing, the first thing they tell me is, I love how I feel about myself. I love my routines, my habits, that every day I wake up excited to get on the app, get on the program, see what I have to eat, see what I have to for my workouts. They get excited to wake up every single day, to go to the gym, to pour into themselves. And that's the first feedback they give me. It's not, oh my God, my legs are getting leaner, my stomach is shredding, my arms are looking better. It's the mindset, it's how I am feeling. And that's something you can't bottle up and sell.
So like I said, that's the four pillars of what we do. And what we wanted to do is we'll start this channel is because we wanted to obviously provide more value for people. We want people to be able to come to this channel down the line and be like, hey, this changed my life. Whether you come work with us or not, that's our opportunity because at the end of the day, like, we want people to get results. We want people to truly see their lives changing. And obviously we all want aesthetics. We all want to look a certain way, but health is a concern that doesn't really get spoken about in today's world. Now it's just like Instagram and social media where you see all these people with these nice physiques, but it's like, when you don't take it serious, you end up with health problems because you didn't fix it. And like I said, that's a big key component we want to help people. If we can give people fitness on their phone with structure, if we can give people nutrition and understanding how their body works and what new macros and they specifically need to make a change, if we can hold somebody accountable, if we can help create or enhance the mindset that they already have to be their best version, we believe we can truly change the world. And that's why we started our first episode today, and we're going to continue to pump these out for you guys. But we really just wanted you to understand what the Formula Factory is and continue to bring awareness to it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for tuning in and listening, and see you in the next episode.
So before you go, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment, whatever you can do. And if you ever have something that you want to speak on when it comes to nutrition or when it comes to fitness, or if you're just like, hey, like I want to hop on a call, we'll put a link below where you can book a call with us, and it could be a discovery call. We just see, where you're at and see if we can possibly help you, maybe give you some advice to put you on the right track. But we're really here just to share value and show you experiences of people whose lives are changing in 100 days just because they have structure, because once again, they have fitness, they also have nutrition, they also have accountability, they also have mindset dialed in. So like I said, we really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.